Hide the Seeds. It is a game with the song played aside. This traditional game is usually played by children in the Java countryside, especially in the center and the east of Java. The winner is decided by who wins a game of paper, scissors, stone. Loser will be a ghost, who will face down in the middle with other children sitting around him, and everyone's palms of their hands face up, put on each other's back, and then one of the children takes a seed, moves it from one palm to another as the music plays. In the lyrics of a traditional song, it states that the seed must immediately be hidden in the children's hand. When the song ends, all children need to hold their hands, pretending to hide the seed, and show gestures at the same time. If the ghost guesses who holds the seed correctly, then the kid who is caught will be a ghost. If the ghost guesses wrong, then the seed goes back to where it was and repeats again. Eat Cookies Race. The existence of this game is to remind Indonesian people the situation during the war was really concerning and difficult. Cookies were civilian food during the war. It was usually distributed through communities. Therefore, they can still survive through eating rice and cookies without soy sauce and salt. Process the tapioca flour, dry it out under the sunshine after searing, and fry it at the end. A few Indonesian people could only eat cookies as side dishes in the 1930s and 1940s. People could only eat cookies and rice. In addition, cassava and processed products made of cheap ingredients were also their food resources. However, these races and games are quite clever and thorough games, and they also are the stages for children to sharpen their sports skills. These skills need to be retained and improved, especially to children and ordinary citizens. The rules are using a rope to tie a leg, putting a cookie at the edge of the rope, and having an eating game. Therefore, each competitor has to observe carefully. Participants need to adjust their balance and to think of how to quickly and safely finish eating the cookie, in case of being choked on it. During the games, they must elevate their legs to let the cookie drop, and eat the cookie while maintaining their balance. Konglok. The meaning of this game including the 7 seeds and 7 holes. Every hole means a day in a week. Each hole has the same amount of seeds, which means every person has the same amount of time during a week, 7 days. When taking a seed out from a hole, it will fill the other, including the farther hole. During this process, it has a meaning that every day that we live will affect tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. What we do today will determine what will happen tomorrow. Seeds are taken away, again and again. It also means the giving and taking of life. We cannot take anything without giving. One seed at a time. We shouldn't take all of them at once. It means that we need to honestly fill the holes. In life, we also must honestly live every day, one step at a time. Being honest and kind is much better than being the opposite. Each seed also teaches us that in life, we must cherish every day. In the games, we also need a strategy. This way, our seeds won't be taken by our opponents. What we can learn is that life is a game, but it doesn't mean that we all need to be enemies, because everyone has the same or different interests or goals. Therefore, we must be smart and strategic. The winner of this game is who has the most seeds in their parent hole. This also means that being a winner or the most successful person is the person who does the best. Putting the nail in the bottle. The game of putting the nail in the bottle shows the concentration of kids who use the nails that is tied on a rope and sticking it into a bottle. During this game, some kids run from the starting line to the end and use the nail that is tied on the rope and stick it into the bottle to compete with each other. The subject and the purpose of this game is to train the concentration and endurance of the contestants. The game can let us see that the contestants also need to carefully stick the nail into the bottle over and over again, understanding the concepts of winning and losing. However, winning or losing doesn't make them fight or feel inferior. There is even a situation that those who already know how to play the game go to help teach the person who doesn't know how to play. It's clocks contest. It is very suitable to reinforce friendship and relationship with family. This game uses sandals at the bottom of them were made of wood with both sides nailed with a foot strap that is made of tires. The difficulty of the clock contest is that it demands groups to walk or run on the road at a compact pace. It does take team cooperation and cohesion in this game, training the coordination of the body parts. This game can also train the coordination of legs, because when children play the clocks, their body and legs are moving at the same time. Playing clocks also takes a huge amount of energy and patience, because it takes concentration and balance to make the step in case of falling.
Basketball. My friends and I love playing basketball in the garden behind my house. We compete with each other for the champion. We are happy. 1, 2, 3. Who will be the champion? Folk children's toy. Kicking the shuttlecock. The game of shuttlecock has been linked with the sports spirit of the school days. The player jumps happily in the air. It is a very interesting game, and it is also a game that can bring children to play together and exercise their body and agility. Children playing shuttlecock will make them have a lot of fun, and it can also enhance their friendship. Folk children's toy. Playing with water by the river. Children lived in the countryside often go to the river in groups to play together. Some people climb the trees and jump into the river to make the water burst. Even so, the children all laughing and chatting together happily. It made the quiet riverside become lively, and the simple children's game left a beautiful and unforgettable childhood memory in my heart. Folk children's toy, rope jumping. This game is usually played by elementary school students, and it also increases the spread of Vietnamese traditional and beautiful culture. For example, hide and seek, cat and mouse, etc. It is a folk children's play, and it has been deeply left in the childhood memories of many people. Grabbing chopsticks. We need a bouncing ball and 10 chopsticks. The way to play is to grab 10 chopsticks one by one from the beginning. After grabbing all of them, you will pass a level, and you will win until you pass level 10. The loser will be thrown by the winner with 10 chopsticks. Throwing stones. When we play throwing stones, you need to prepare 20 to 30 small stones. Choose round ones to avoid pain when you hit your hands. When you stop playing, choose a main stone first. Pick one first and then pick 3 more stones. You can also pick up more stones. The more stones can be recovered as capital stones. To keep 3 stones, you need to throw them up and catch them with the back of your hands. throw them up again and grab the main stone. When picking up stones, be careful not to touch other stones placed together. If you touch them, you lose. Then change to the next person to play. Playing with rubber bands. The way to play this game is also very simple. First, disperse 20 to 30 rubber bands and then pick them out with your fingers so that there are small holes in the two stacks. And you should also be careful not to touch other placed rubber bands. The game is not limited to the number of people. The more people playing together, the more fun the game is. Toy of oil tanker. When I was a child, I liked watching the chimney on the oil tanker toy spinning in the water of the wash basin. Imagine the sound of the ship and the smoke coming out of the chimney of the ship. Carry my dream to travel around the world. Toys made from banana leaves and barks. When we were small, we used to cut the bark and leaves of some bananas to make our own toys, such as crowns, hats, headscarves, and soldiers' clothes. They are good looking and fashionable, and we also fantasize about carrying pistols and weapons to repel intruders. Banana leaf umbrella. Tick, tick, tick. The sound of rain. I remember when we were young, when the rainy days after school, my friends and I would use banana leaves as umbrellas. While holding a leaf umbrella, we talked and laughed happily on our way home.